In my first gap year, I moved to Cape Town from Durban. I worked on my first short film, Pal. And ever since I made that film, it just got so much of love from YouTube to film festivals. It got nominations, awards, selections. It got so much of love and support. So I had to return with my second short film, One Lost Song. So One Lost Song is a short film about three musician best friends, Makayla, Kash and Benjamin, who take a gap year, but something unexpected happens during their gap year which causes them to drift apart. Now they have to use their shared passion for music to get back together again. This film was the most challenging project that I've ever worked on. I mean, I thought Pal was going to be a challenging project, but this was just another level. It took me 17 months to make. You heard that correctly, 17 months. So I'm Isaac. I'm 19 years old from Cape Town, South Africa, and this is the behind the scenes of my second animated short film, One Lost Song. So a bit about me, I just finished my second gap year. I took 2 gap years, so the animation process is quite interesting. The entire film was done on Procreate with my iPad 7 and an Apple Pencil. Now you can imagine how time consuming that must be compared to like computer animation or 3D animation. It took a hell of a lot of time, I'm not even kidding you. And it was all done with a 32 gig iPad. And every time I wanted to animate, the storage would just give me so much of trouble. So the process goes as follows. Start off with an idea, then the script, character designs, concept art, storyboards, the voice acting, final animation, editing, sound design, and post-production. So I started this film back in July 2024, and back then I had just finished with my first short film, Pal. So the script took me about a month to do, and in the meantime I was also looking for voice actors. I kept on like changing things and rewriting stuff. As for character designs, that was probably one of the most fun things ever because I saved a whole bunch of outfits and inspiration on Pinterest. I made a bunch of character designs. I did it all on paper first. I made their headshots, their body, and everything until I was satisfied with the end result. And then for concept art, it was basically just rough drawings on how the scene is going to look, on how the film is going to look, and different color swatches, different moods, different atmospheres, and basically how the scene is going to feel. Now the storyboarding also took me quite a while to do. In total, the storyboard took me 3 months to do. Basically, it's just a rough animation sort of sketch, black and white artwork of like not more than 5 frames per second of how the film is going to look as a whole. So for example, I can show you guys here the storyboard versus the final animation. The storyboard is basically just a rough animation of how everything is going to look. The final animation definitely took a long time. It took me around 12 months to do. I'm not going to lie to you, I felt so burnt out throughout the process, especially since I'm the only animator. So burnt out, so tired, so fatigued. My mental health at one point also collapsed, but I just pretty much saw myself at the end result, winning and just like doing so well with the animation, and that's what motivated me to just continue working on this film. And everything was done in Procreate, so the final animation jumps off the storyboard, if that makes sense. And then I used CapCut for editing, and the editing process as well, so time consuming, adding in everything, making sure everything fits on the timeline, making sure the mouth movements add up. Took a lot of time. A lot has changed in this film. Like the first draft of the film had a completely different storyline. Like the gap year wasn't even a thing in the beginning. Ben's death was supposed to be something else. He wasn't supposed to have things bottled up inside of him. But I changed that to make it more mental health themed. Storyboards, everything, so many scenes were cut from this film because either it just didn't make sense or I completely rewrote that scene.
Hey, Ben?
Yeah?
I'm really glad we're out here. Just the 3 of us.
Me too, Kash. It means a lot to me.
A gap year doesn't mean that we're lost. It just means we're trying to figure stuff out at our own pace.
So I'm going to be doing a voiceover to just explain the animation process in full. So I open up Procreate on my iPad, and just a quick note, I have a whole folder of all the different files that are in this film. I deleted a lot because of storage. So for the canvas, I use a 2.39 by 1, which is pretty much the standard cinematic aspect ratio for a lot of movies. So for this specific example, I'm going to be using this small clip as a reference on how I animated it. So firstly, I should reference. And then I pretty much pause at every like 0.5 seconds and I draw that frame. And this is what I have when I'm done. This is the full line art, and as you can see, the layers are full. Each character is a different color. I did that so I just don't confuse myself when I'm doing the final animation. And then now I'm doing the line art, so I basically trace over the rough animation with a black marker. And this is like the final animation. It's pretty much the line art of what you see in the final animation, and this needs to be clean. Like, I'm also cleaning up any excess marks that I'm making. If I accidentally add a stroke, I need to make sure it's gone because people might spot it out in the final animation. So once the line art is done, now it's on to coloring the actual animation, and this is probably one of my favorite parts because it's just so calming and therapeutic. Like, just coloring everything, it just makes me feel so good. And it's also one of the last steps when I'm finishing off a scene. So once the coloring is done, this is when I add the background, and in this specific shot the background is the mountains. So once the animation is done, I open CapCut and I add in the background on the main track and the characters as an overlay. Now on the background, I add in some keyframes to give it the effect that the background is moving because the characters are taking a selfie. I thought it was pretty cool, and just a quick note, this was probably the most time-consuming clip that I've worked on.
Hey, it's Makayla. The past year has been tough for both of us.
So my voice actors had no fancy equipment, so crazy fact. But the cast of One Lost Song was not in the same recording booth. They were in different time zones throughout the United States. California, Minnesota, and North Carolina. Different time zones, different areas, different rooms, and they managed to make it sound so authentic. I just appreciate them and love them so much for doing that. Like, they did a phenomenal job and they didn't even hear each other speak. Again, proof that you do not need fancy equipment to make a beautiful film.
Hello, my name is Alaura Barclay and I am voice acting Makayla in this beautiful film, One Last Song. I am 19 years old and I live in California. I actually currently work at a restaurant. I do make YouTube content. I am a full-time college student. I am actually so grateful that to even be a part of a project like this, I actually was very shocked to be asked to be a part of this process. So when filming my lines, I do use my phone. I use my phone and I use a microphone. This is my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 microphone. It did come with the camera, but prior to me even having all of these good equipment, I would use these microphones. They were black. I also had like a pink one and I got them off of Amazon, and they were just these tiny little black microphones that connected to my phone when plugging it in, and it was very easy to use, and I would keep it close to my mouth in the beginning of this process of becoming Makayla and stepping into that character. I would use my phone in those tiny mics, but now I use just this cute little microphone. So I'm gonna get to my phone really quick and I'm gonna show you guys how I film my lines. I'm super excited.
Now, when on my device right here, I go to the app Voice Memos. It's the easiest app for me to be able to use when sending over my lines to Isaac. So I name all of the lines that I have, what line I am using, and what it is called in the Voice Memo app. When doing this, it'll help me put all of them together, and I'm able to email them to Isaac to make it easier for him to be able to use them throughout the film.
Now that I have connected my microphone to my phone, I'm gonna have voice memos in one tab and my lines in another on one tab, so I can just open it and slide over and just check to make sure that I'm doing everything correctly. When I get nervous, I tend to forget what I'm even supposed to be doing. What if taking a gap year holds us back? So I'm such a nerd. Once I have completed a line, I'm gonna re-listen to it because I hate doing a line bad. It just frustrates me.
Is sure we're doing the right thing? Is sure we're...
See, this was good, but my mic literally glitched, so I'm gonna retry that. And I'm just gonna do the line over and over until I'm getting the right one that I'm satisfied with, and I'm gonna do it again. Are you guys sure we're doing the right thing? What if a gap? Are you guys sure we're doing the... Are you guys sure we're doing the right... Are you guys... Ew. Are you guys sure? Are you guys sure? I'm serious, Kash. I'm sick. I'm serious, Kash. I'm sick. I'm serious, Kash. What if everyone else moves on and we're just stuck here? Yes, Kash. Ugh, I messed up. Okay, it's okay. I'm serious, Kash. What if everyone else moves on and we're just stuck here? And that ate up. That ate up hands down. I don't even gotta re-listen to it. Perfect. I really like that. I guess... I'm sick. But what if... Ew! No, I cannot. Is your coolness in the room with us? Oh, God. Oh my gosh. Is your coolness in the room with us? It sounds like I feel like I'm playing like Dora. Is your coolness in the room with us? Like, no, like I'm not. Right. I have completely finished my lines. So I am done with my lines. All of my lines are now there. I am going to email them to Isaac. And I really just want to say thank you so much for letting me be a part of such a beautiful process. I really am so grateful for having this opportunity be brought upon me, and I'm very grateful just for the cast and for this beautiful artwork that you were about to create. And I am so excited to see the final touches on this beautiful film, and thank you all so much for watching and supporting this beautiful project. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. And if you want to see more of me, I do have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Alaura Barclay. I post book content, vlogs, I post daily vlogs, live content. I also am a type 1 diabetic, so I post educational videos about my journey being a diabetic. Go ahead and check out my YouTube, and I'm just so forever and will always be grateful for this opportunity given to me. Bye.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Borja. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, United States, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the behind the scenes on what it's like to actually do some voiceovers for a film, feature film, short feature film, YouTube feature, animated film. I don't even know what to call it. I just want to say before we jump into this, huge shout out to my boy Isaac. What's actually so crazy is bro is literally all the way across the entire globe from me right now. And so I really do appreciate you giving me this opportunity and to actually play a role. Like, it's really fun. I'm a creative agent here in Minnesota, so I'm a model, I'm an actor, I'm a videographer and photographer, and I help a lot of creatives in the city as well as brands just help them push their creativity in order to actually get to their full creative potential. So with that being said, I've had a past of learning how to play with my voice. I grew up in choir growing up. My mom and my dad are very talented artists and musicians and vocalists as well, so I say maybe that plays a little bit of help with me, you know. I'm just kidding. But there's no really special techniques or anything that I use when it comes down to voice acting and stuff. Usually, sometimes I'll have somebody behind the camera reading the other roles so I can go ahead and play off of it, so it's an easier interaction and it sounds more authentic. But right now, we got me and we got you guys. So you guys are gonna be the ones that are reading the lines, and I'm gonna be the one doing my part. When it comes down to voice acting, you want to put yourself into the shoes of the character. And so for this character, I'm Benjamin. Of course, you guys have probably already seen the film, and now this is the behind the scenes. So welcome. This is what I, Luis, actually look like. This is the voice behind Benjamin. Normally how my process goes, I go ahead and set up these Rode video mics and pretty much just attach it to my phone, and then we actually get professional audio just right here. It just clips in just like that. I don't gotta hold anything, and I can actually just talk however I would normally talk. If you guys are getting into voice acting and stuff like that, don't worry about the equipment. It's not that serious. You literally can record on the iPhone. That's what I did for majority of my takes at the beginning. And if it's a smaller production like this one, that's okay, because we're all learning, we're all growing, and this is just a start to a very long career for all of us. So every single person that's here, you guys behind the camera, I just want to say I appreciate you guys showing love to me and all of the cast. We've done a lot of work behind the scenes to make this possible for you guys. So what we're gonna do is I'm using voice memos on my phone, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start it off. If y'all ready, I'm ready. Let's jump into it. Luis Borja, scene 3, one last song, my first line. Makayla, stop worrying. This is our year to do whatever the hell we want. Makayla, stop worrying. This is our year to do whatever the hell we... Alright, I think that was a pretty good take. We're gonna go ahead and label that one as first line. Alright, let's jump into our next recording. So let's jump into it. We are not stuck. We're choosing to take a break. There's a big difference. Everyone's so obsessed with rushing to the finish line, and they forget to live a little. You know what I think? People make life way too complicated. A gap year doesn't mean that we're lost. It just means that we're trying to figure stuff out at our own pace. That's clean, that's clean, that's clean. Bro, we're running through this with a breeze. You feel me? I think it left, oh my God, can't speak. See, trials and tribulations, sometimes with these recordings, that's what happens. So delete it, try again. That works for me, works for me. Fifth line, scene 3, Luis Borja. We're moving our way to the last script, the last line. All right, bet. Those are all my lines, and that is what I'm bringing for you guys for behind the scenes content. You feel me? This is literally me in my room. No professional equipment. So don't worry about your guys' equipment. It's okay. It's all gonna come in the journey. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys follow my Instagram, luis.borjaa. That's my Instagram. I post pretty much daily content on there, whether it's a picture or a reel. I take you guys through content like vlogs and kind of showing behind the scenes what it's like to be a videographer, photographer, content creator, and just a general creative here in Minneapolis in the United States. I also have a YouTube channel called Project Sploosh. Over there, I post a lot of behind the scenes content, cinematics, travel videos, and some tips and tricks. So if you guys want to hop onto that one as well, feel free. Thank you guys so much for the love, and I'll catch y'all soon. Peace out.
Hi everyone, my name is Rayan RAO. I'm from North Carolina. I'm a biomedical engineering student at NC State University, and I also have a minor in art, and I'm a very creative person. I love to make things, which is why I was very grateful and excited when Isaac gave me this opportunity. I met Isaac back in 2019 or 2020 when we were both up-and-coming artists on TikTok, and when he hit me up a couple months ago about this, I was super hyped, and he told me about Kash, which is the character that I play. He's a very, very interesting character, and I'm extremely excited to show you guys how I portrayed him. I was very excited to play Kash because he reminds me a lot of one of my favorite characters from Friends, Chandler, who is very famous for using his quips and jokes as a defense mechanism in uncomfortable situations. So Kash is a character that he'll always be the funny one in the group. He'll always break a silence with a little joke or quip, and that's one thing that I really loved about playing him. Another important part of Kash's character was just the emotional and character development over the story, and being able to portray the grief and anger he was holding inside of him about his best friend Benjamin's death, and then also sort of capture that release of the tension when he's around Makayla was something very interesting about his character.
Once the voice acting was done, I could finally start the main animation. I used the voices to sort of shape the mouths. So in this film, so much went into the mouth movements alone. Like I just study facial expressions and mouth movements just to get it perfect, to sound like they're actually saying the word. I didn't want them to just move their mouths up and down. I actually wanted some sort of speech to go on. So now in One Last Song, we are in a very interesting spot. There's a huge question mark as to what's happening next with Kash and Makayla. Now that Makayla is moving across the country to New York for college, and by Kash still being in California, is that gonna change anything between them? Are they still gonna be friends? What's gonna happen between them? And I'm sure we all have a question when we watch the film. Like, what's gonna happen next? Will they eventually get over Ben's death? Will they somehow come back together? And that was done intentionally. I wanted the film to end in a sort of bittersweet way, where Kash and Makayla, they do reunite, but it's done in a very melancholic way. Maybe in the future there may be a part 2. I actually really want to work on a part 2, so we'll see what happens. But I really hope you guys enjoy seeing the process of this film, how it was made by a 19-year-old director, and just again a huge thank you to the voice actors of this film. I love you guys so much, and I'm just so grateful for you guys. And another big thank you to everyone who's watched and supported the film. Your support means so much to me. And if you want to see more of me, follow my Instagram and my TikTok. And over there I post more behind the scenes content. I also hope you guys took a very good message out of this movie. And that's it from me. Stay safe guys, take care of your mental health, and I will see you in the next one.